Hey YouTube, it's Ty, and Lagon is a dick. You probably already knew that, though he isn't the only one, but probably the first universal threat to your survival in the game. Over my time with Last Epoch, these 4 enemy types are the probably scariest things you can encounter. Enemies that impart dots, like snake scorpions and their elite versions. Telegraphed attacks from enemies like Raxx over here. Story bosses, specifically Lagon and Majasa. 4 melee builds, some of them at least. Modrogan is one of them, in, of course, chronological order of your encounter. That can absolutely end your hardcore runs. And then monolith bosses. Monolith bosses, of course, being scaled, mechanically different and unique, completely new bosses that appear at the end of every monolith sequence. So, what's the #1 killer in Last Epoch? Come, say it together with me. New mechanics. Yep, the introduction of new mechanics that do very high damage, as in stacked dots, telegraphed massive hits, boss mechanics. You need mobility, essentially. They are deadly because they are introduced in an unexpected way. They're just suddenly there. The reason I recommend playing through the campaign in softcore the first time around is exactly this. You want to learn when enemies are introduced, what is dangerous about the game before you play hardcore, because otherwise you can just lose your character and it might feel just completely unfair. Encounter them in softcore first, learn what they do, then try hardcore the next time around. It'll be a way better experience, I promise. My first character through the campaign never dropped below half health until Lagon, and then got one-shot by his second attack. This one exactly. Here's what you can do to avoid these interactions if you're dead set on making your first character hardcore. Cap survival stats over damage at nearly all times. Your passive tree skills take multiple defenses once, 1 mobility, 1 defensive minimum. Be prepared for all enemies to be dangerous, especially those shitty spitty snakes. Those really suck the first time around. And for bosses specifically, Lagon's dangerous attacks are these. There's one-shots, if you're not capped on resistances or high health. These waves stun. And then Majasa becomes an absolute bitch. You need mobility for Medusa's stoning move, whatever you want to call it. And then there's a lot of things that do high burst in random AoEs. And in phase 2, her swipe attack can be very dangerous if you don't have stacked defenses. If you're making your first alt and don't want to be bothered, there are always ways to skip certain parts of the campaign. I never felt the need to myself. I honestly enjoy the campaign progression. So here's a guide Raxx made, and the link will also be in the description. Honestly, I quite enjoy enemy design in Last Epoch overall, but it can be very spiky damage-wise. So I felt this video was a sensible one to make, and I hope you enjoyed it, or were helped by it. If so, leave a like, subscribe, and maybe tell me which difficulty spikes you encounter during your playthroughs in the comments. Also, stuns. Stuns suck. Why is stun avoidance a thing? I could do without it. Either way, if you're interested, come say hi on stream sometime. I'll be live right when this video is released. Otherwise, see you next time.